I love this spirit part. The first news I chose was about the housing. So the 2030s, which the youngsters and the government kind of loosened up the regulation of getting a loan to buy the house. So nowadays they can get actually more percentage of the loan to get the house. But because the market knows, so many house owners actually increase the price because they know that many people get more loans, so they're likely to more demands. So although they can get more loan, still it is impossible to buy the house. And the problem is that there's other way to rent and getting the high deposit, which is a 전세. But those prices are really high, especially like for last year. So that there is not much big difference between the getting a high deposit versus buying the house. So people thought that they would rather get the house. So that's why the market goes into the buying the house. That's why the price went soaring up. And I think this news talks in a tone that the government should really fix this renting issue, so that people can get more stable rent, then the focus on buying the house will decrease. And also, many of the people getting out of Seoul, so basically the renting, the buying the house is impossible, so they couldn't really afford, and the salary doesn't really go increase. So a lot of people getting out, and because many people try to get away, but they also do not want to go too far away from the big city. So outskirts of Seoul has sort of like increasing price. So many of the places are like increasing for 30%, 40%. Like 의정부 is like quite northern side of Seoul, and that's like 44%, and Gimpo is kind of a bit west north, and it's also like 45% off. So perhaps they get out from this crazy price and they get another soaring up price. The next news is about the Belgian diplomat. So the wife of the Belgian diplomat has some kind of violence case in the past. So about a month ago, she went to this clothing store, and then she tried on and off for like an hour or something, and then she was gonna go. So the staff was kind of confused, and maybe because that clothes she was wearing was similar to what they sell, so they asked if they can check it and those, and they checked the label and those, and she didn't feel good about it, and she smacked the face of the staff. So they called the police and all these things, and then they found out that she's the wife of the diplomat and she has this diplomatic immunity. So there's no way they could charge or anything. So she got away, and about a month later, a few days ago, she did it again. So there's the public officer who cleaned up the street, and then that person didn't really see her or something, so that the mob kind of slightly pushed her or something, and she found it really assaulting or something, so she was trying to like arguing and even use violence again. I think she has some kind of issues, but the problem is that again, they don't want to charge each other at the end, but still, even if he wanted, there's no way they can charge her, because again, she has a diplomat immunity. But this time, the minister of the diplomacy in Belgium told them, come back immediately. And they say that they want to have a good relationship with Korea, but there's no charge. So it's a law because basically that diplomacy is they just have their own law. Like, so let's say the Belgians still are under the Belgian law, and it's also important. Let's say a country has a quite unstable politics, and then like let's say a corrupted like politician or something, they don't like this country, so they wanna like prosecute them unlawfully or without justice. That can happen in those really unstable countries. So in this case, it's important, but I think at the same time, they should really try to make a difference that if it's like this obvious thing, like speeding ticket or drunk driving or just violence, I think there should be a way to prosecute them so they don't feel like that they have all the power and immunity so they can do whatever. I think that's the problem, that they feel like they can do anything. And indeed, there is no charge. The last news is about this environment. So this company, which is really huge brand to make this ramen, this instant noodle, or the snacks, they made the package smaller. So in the past, these packages are covering the full of these bundles, but instead they make it more like kind of tying it up with a smaller size. And this way they can reduce a lot of amount of making plastic, and which is very, very nice for the environment. Of course, this is just one company, so a lot of environmental association and groups suggest that all the companies will do this, and that will be better for the environment. So those are the news I chose to read and let you know. I hope you find them interesting, and see you next time.